Welcome to another episode of the Forgotten Athlete podcast. I am your host, Joseph, here with Zachary. How's it going today?
Dude, things are great, man. How are you?
Doing all right. Cannot wait to get my haircut. I've been trying to wait and get my haircut, and I've been lazy, not gonna lie. But waiting to get so hopefully get my haircut. Hopefully I think tomorrow. I think I have a scheduled appointment for tomorrow. But yeah, everything's been going good. Work's been going good. Can't complain. NFL keeping us busy in terms of things to talk about, so that's always good. Today's episode is going to be about the NFL policy, but before we get into the policies, as always, please like, subscribe, as well as comment, like, or feel free to ask us questions as we prolong this, and feel free to share us with other users, other friends, other people online. If you don't like our take, if you think we're stupid, hey, more power to you. But yeah, let's get into the NFL policies. So the NFL had this competition summit committee, whatever they call it, committee, with all the coaches. And a couple things happened, obviously, and we'll get to the coaches in a couple, probably a couple segments here. But a couple things happened with the rule changes that were agreed on with the owners having a meeting as well. And here are some of them. The biggest rule change is going to be the kickoff rule, and that's going to be kind of where we will start at. But I did want to mention some other rules because I do think that they're important. So Detroit Lions made this rule, or wanted this rule to be adopted, and it got approved. Where you have the ability to get a third challenge following one successful challenge. So before you'd have to get two right in order to get one. Now all you gotta do is get one right, and you'll get a third one. So I think that's actually pretty good. I do think the game. And I looked to chime in here. My bad. I didn't even say one word yet. But I looked to chime in here in a couple seconds. But I did want to say the game has. I feel like the NFL seems rushed all the time, and I do think the NFL needs to slow its game sometimes. I don't know. What are your thoughts on just this first rule and just your opinion on it? Just the third challenge rule.
I hate that you said slow the game down. I don't want to slow the game down. I love the process with that play clock. Didn't we talk about it already? We hate when
Yeah,
you see the ref go like,
yeah, that's true.
where
That's
we,
true.
yeah, we don't want that. We want to have that clock wind because it keeps everything in sync. I think that's the reason. Even now, I turned on the NBA yesterday and it's a commercial break every time the ball goes out of bounds, which happens pretty frequently because they're not good at passing. College is even worse. It's hard to watch a college game.
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, I don't want them to slow the game down. I like this though because it encourages coaches to challenge, and I think a lot of times coaches their post game, and players too, they're a little disappointed with some of the calls that happen. So if you can give them just the idea of saying, "Hey, you could have challenged," um, they're opening it up so
hmm
they can get this third challenge. It just makes the game um, a little less questionable on the coach and player side. You know what I mean?
yeah. I see what you're going with. I think my thing is I think there aren't enough reviews in the NFL, and I think they kind of focused on this time around when they were making the changes. So I'll root off some other rules too as we kind of go through this, which kind of
Sure.
prove my point. But I do think that, like for roughing the passer, for example, I think all roughing the passer penalties need to be reviewed. If it's roughing the passer penalty and it's like obvious, it goes to review. It's like a 30-second break, 30-second commercial break. They review it, come back and ready to go. But I think that we move like the NFL. It's great action plays, right? Because it's always going, it's always going. Red zone makes it seem like there's always a game going on that one day. But I do think at times where the NBA is has its moments of being better than the NFL, and this is me as an audience member, is the fact that there are reviews and heavy reviews. Now I know that's a big con against the NBA in terms of just overall watching it, but I do want to see more reviewable plays within the sport of the NFL. This is my opinion though.
This is one of those takes where I know you don't believe it. You just want to be contrarian.
No. I'm serious because you don't ever watch a game and be like, why can't you review it? Or they say, oh, this review play can't be reviewed because it's under 2 minutes. or has to be reviewed by the booth in under 2 minutes. Like right now, the only things that are like
No,
automatic reveals are
I don't.
touchdowns. Are
I
touchdowns.
honest. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, what? No. I'm just saying the only thing that are reviewable are touchdowns and turnovers. And I think those are the only two things that are automatic review. Like, it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah, and I think that's the way it should be. Because like, what else? What else? I mean, teams are obviously really interested in whether the person scores or not. Uh, Even those kind of get excessive. I mean, after a couple minutes, if you can't decide if the ball across the plane, like or the guy's foot's in the ground, like just have it whatever you like, call the touchdown. Let's
Yeah.
keep moving, type deal. 'Cause I don't want to sit and wait and watch the guy who the kick team just like waiting for the call to be confirmed. That's like literally the pain when I watch the game. Just hurry up and get it over with. That's for me as a viewer. And then secondly, the change of possession. Obviously, did the guy catch the ball in the interception, or was the arm moving forward on a fumble type deal? Like, I think those are stuff that coaches really want to know. And the fact that it takes it out of their game, they're automatically reviewed. I think that's perfect. I'm not sure. I mean, there's some times where I think, is the guy down? Did he fumble? He was being dragged by three players. I think those are the plays that, you know, people want to say, was his knee down type deal? Like, or was the ball short of a line of gain? Like, those are stuff that I feel like does need challenging. I
Yeah.
keep hearing stuff
Yeah.
about the rough and passer. I'm like, dude, we just need to either like understand what a rough and passer is.
Well, I
And
think we
maybe have
understand what
coaches.
it is, but I think
Do we?
it's
Like, do
well,
we?
are you talking about as
We
an
fix the
audience?
catch.
Are you
I
talking
think we
about as
fix
an
the catch.
audience? Are you talking about as an audience? Or are you talking about as a
Both.
audience
Both.
or like or as a league? Because I think the league
The thing that
doesn't
the NFL does well
like
is
players
people on the
don't
couch can
understand.
follow along.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
players
holding.
don't.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
pass
but
interference. Oh, that's a
players.
catch. But when it comes to roughing the passer, nobody knows.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
my point.
that's what I'm saying. So both
Because
on the field, and then also us as fans, we need to know what a roughing passer is.
yeah, because you'll be watching the game and it's like a 5 second play. Quarterback still has the ball.
Regular 3-step drop, and I'm like,
He goes out of the pocket.
and
There's a flag thrown. Oh, it's
someone's
holding.
left.
It's a holding. And that's just me as a fan, and just because you watch the game a lot, and that's I would say 95% of fans are like that. Like they see a flag they see a flag on the field. You know what the flag is. So I do think that type of transparency is important because I think football fans are a lot smarter. I think
And then
because the
too,
game
like
is
I
more
think
simpler.
when you're talking with
in terms of what
when
you're
you're talking
saying.
with family or whoever's teaching you the game, you're saying, hey, what's pass interference? They can explain, hey, this is pass interference, and that's something they should probably look at too. But then when it comes to roughing the passer, it's just really it's really, hey, it's whatever the refs want, because sometimes you'll see someone
Yeah.
get hit after he throws, no flag, but then you'll see in the same game. We'll use Mahomes. Mahomes gets slapped in the head by Khalil Mack with his left hand. He's not even doing anything. Mahomes looks at the ref. He hit my head. He hit my head. A flag
Yeah.
comes out, and
And
it's like, dude, come on, like
are he's
that's
pointing at the player like almost like
yeah.
laughing
And
at
I'm
him.
like that's the kind of stuff. It's like, come on, like
Yeah.
because 15 yards is a huge play.
A lot of
Like
plays.
you're putting someone from out of field goal range in field goal range. You're putting someone from their side of from their opponent's side of the field to their side of the field type deal. So it's a huge penalty that I said that backwards, but you understand.
Yeah, I get what
But
you're saying.
yeah, it's fits like maybe do it maybe a 5 yard or 10 yard penalty, like how they used to do it with pass interference, whether it was like a 5 yard penalty or 15 or something incidental or face mask. It was incidental face mask
Yeah.
versus face mask. One was 5, 115. They need to bring something like that back for this. I think that would be fine.
So one of the rules. So the next rule we're going to talk about, and these are just I'm just going to talk about just a list of rules that fit this criteria. So this is the reviewable plays I'm talking about. So one of the rules that they're amending is to include a ruling of a passer down by contact or out of bounds before throwing a pass as a reviewable play. So remember, I think it might have been 2, maybe 3, even maybe 2, 3 years ago, Joe Burrow in the playoffs against the Raiders, where he like
Oh
is
yeah, when I
clearly
became
out
a
of
Chiefs fan.
bounds.
That's when I really
It's
I remember
clearly
that's
out of bounds, but he throws a touchdown and they don't call it. So
that was when I
that
hopped on the
play,
Chiefs bandwagon
and that
officially.
play
I
was
said
not
the refs are against us.
that play was not reviewable. Like that play was not
Yeah.
reviewable at all.
And the whistle
So
was blown, by the way.
and the
which
whistle
I
was
didn't
blown.
understand why the play stood. But we can go.
So
That's
so
yeah.
now that play would actually have been reviewed and it probably would have not counted against him. Now that the rule is what it is now, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, I get to I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. Actually, I do think the game speed is fantastic because you don't want to have too much stoppage in the game. Like mistakes are gonna happen, and I think as
Mm-hmm.
as NFL fans, we are fine with mistakes happening as long as it kind of goes both ways. Like, I mean, that's
Yeah,
honestly because
inconsistency.
yeah, like
If
because
you're gonna
and that's the
call
thing with the
if you're gonna
NFL.
call Mahomes getting slapped in the head a 15-yard penalty, do it for Purdy, do it
Yeah,
for
yeah,
Carr,
and
do
the
it
NFL
for
for the
like
most part they
everyone.
do that. I mean, yeah, Brady got
Yeah.
away with some stuff. Nathan got away with some stuff that other quarterbacks didn't. But at the end of the day, the
Otherwise, you're
referees
gonna yeah.
called the game the way it was. I think um there's a big and I hate to bring the NBA into this again, but I'm just kind of want to kind of compare because I think
I think
these
you're the
are the
only NBA fan at this point. But keep
two
going.
rules here. But no, like with the free throw disparity between or discrepancy between like the Lakers and like other teams. Like Lakers shooting more free throws than their opponents. So I think there's a lot more trust I think with the NFL fans that the NFL fans have with the officiating
Oh,
than I think
100%.
any other sport. I obviously hockey,
Yeah.
is a
Maybe
sport in
hockey out
itself,
there. I don't really watch
but
that
even
much.
baseball, like
I caught the
no one
Avalanche losing last night, but
no one trusts
yeah.
the umpires at all. Like okay. There is another one to eliminate a potential dangerous tackling technique, which is
Yeah.
the hip drop tackle. I tried to find like what they're gonna rule it by. I can't find it, so maybe I'll hopefully I can post it somewhere. But um, I'm I'm not as um like negative against the rule as the more I the more I see it because that tackle
I found language on it.
yeah, go ahead.
The language that the NFL is using is the player has to
Okay, cool, you have it.
grab the runner with both hands,
Can you send me
or
that? I'm kind of gonna do a
yeah.
screen share for a second, but go ahead.
Let me. There you go. All right. So you want to read it or you want to read it?
No, go ahead and read it. I just wanted to
All
I'm
right.
just gonna do like a screen share just so people can kind of know what we're
Yeah.
talking
So
about
the
while we're
player
doing
has
this.
to if it is a foul if the player uses the following technique to bring the runner to the ground: grabs the runner with both hands, or wraps the runner with both arms, and unweights himself by swiveling and dropping his hips and or lower body, landing on and trapping the runner's legs at or below the knee.
All right, so viewers, this is the actual reading right here where Zach is reading from right here. Sorry about the ads. Those are not sponsored by us. But yeah, so I think the language, like you're saying, is important because I think right here where it says unweights himself by swiveling and dropping his hips, lower body, landing on and trapping their runner below or below the knee, whatever the case may be. I think this is important because I think this is not a tackle that you're taught. It's a tackle that you just do because you're not strong
No, no,
enough
no, no.
to.
It's actually a technique that's taught by Pete
Oh,
Carroll.
okay.
Yeah, Pete Carroll's in his Seahawks. They call it Seahawk tackling or something. Like what they try to do is because you can't hit the person in the head. So what they did was they changed the tackling where you wrap and you roll. So as an evolution from hey, we're no longer hitting people in the head, we're now tackling, rolling, putting your body weight. Like this is what happened. Now they're doing
Wow.
another step where they're like, okay, now we have to change this because players are tearing their ACLs and stuff.
Well, I remember like being taught to tackle like if a guy, and I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, but if a guy is too if a guy is not big enough or if a guy's too big, like there was a guy in our league. This guy was like 5'10" and he weighed like 250 and he played running back. Like I mean, okay, maybe over exaggerating, but
He
when I was
was
in high
big.
school, he seemed that big. But anyways, we would practice tackling by like tackling him from his legs and then rolling our body against his so like we can bring him down. And I don't see that being the same thing. But I get what you're going with because I now that you're saying that, I do remember Earl Thomas doing a lot of those tackles. Like I can just visually remember it. So that's actually good to know because but nonetheless, what are your thoughts on just the overall rule though?
Yeah, I mean, selfishly, I'm excited to see how it works because I lost a fantasy league last year and I had to blow stuff up because Mark Andrews and
Yeah,
week 16 or whatever it was that happened. I thought I could make a playoff run, but that's besides the point here. Um, Player safety is definitely there. They're trying to make it seem like they're into player safety, but then one of these rule changes, or not rule change, but we find out that a team is going to play on Saturday, and then they're going to have some Christmas games. We'll jump into that a little later.
yeah.
Uh, so it's like there's 18 games. The league seems like they're going to 18 games pretty soon here. Player safety though, so it's just a way for the NFL to sell it to the public that hey, we eliminated the head. Now we're trying to reduce the leg. And I'm curious what is going to come like because there's much more creative minds, obviously, and the NFL circles that are going to try to figure out a way where they can still bring runners down, but do so when the players aren't getting additional yards that they shouldn't be getting.
Well, I think the whole concept of gang tackling, like the Ravens do a really good job at
It's
this.
gonna, yeah,
Like teams are gonna have to buy into gang tackling, and right now teams don't. Like I can count on one hand how many teams gang tackle. Like I mean,
yeah.
can
I
you?
mean that's
Like
true. I can,
it's
well, yeah,
there's
because like
not
even
teams don't do this.
The Chiefs
Teams
pride
don't do
themselves
it.
on single tackling. Like
Yeah,
you don't,
yeah.
don't let your man get it. But they're not doing the. They're
No,
trying
like
to do a lot from the front. They keep stuff in
yeah,
front of them, and I think that's another thing too, is to try to do your best as a defender. Try to do your best to keep the offensive player from getting past you because we're in those chase down situations. Like that's how this stuff's happening because the players can't see
yeah.
and prepare for the hit, so they're just getting hit from behind. And then when that you just feel your legs getting wrapped and you want to try to spin out of it, but the person's landing all their body weight on you. So I'm doing all these actions,
No,
but
yeah,
but you get the idea, right? It's like
yeah.
that's why these injuries are happening.
Yeah, I just think that right now we're
So
at a
just
place
bam
where,
tackling from behind.
okay,
That's what do you think about that, Joseph?
but here's the thing though,
You have to be
is
in front of you have to be in front of the player to
I
tackle him.
don't think the NFL is like here. If I'm a player in the NFL, there's a few things I'm kind of upset with. We can't wear pads until like late mini camp,
As players.
right? We can't do tackling in training camp every day. We gotta do I think like twice a week or something like
That's the
that.
players.
So no, I
But
know.
yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Players wanted this. Players wanted this. I know. But I'm just saying, if I'm a player, right? If I'm a defender mainly, because this is where I think mainly this is gonna come from. As a defender, you're gonna need reps on practicing not doing this, especially if you like a guy like the guy that had the guy for the Lions that took out Hawkinson and took out
Oh, it
forget the
was
guys Hawkinson and someone else like back to back weeks. The guy
yeah.
Higby. It was Higby. But yeah, like he took out those two guys, like both lower leg tackles, and like obviously, I mean, you don't see them as dirty hits as a player, but they can be portrayed that way. And I forget the defender's name. I'm drawing a blank here, but I
Wasn't that Gardner Johnson? Was it someone else?
was it I thought it was someone else. I didn't think it was
Okay,
Gardner
okay.
Johnson,
I
but
was yeah, I was trying to think. I was like, was it CJ, my man? But
I don't
yeah,
think it
keep
was
going.
CJ, but I'm
All
not
right, keep going.
positive
Just
though,
keep
so
going.
it could have been him. But anyways, like I think like people like him, for example, like although they didn't get hurt from the hip drop tackle, they got hurt from just going below the knees, or going to need training on whatnot. So I think
Hmm.
more than anything, the hip drop tackle is going to be gone. I don't think players are going to. I think players are going to be. But here's my thing with this, and Mike Mitchell alluded to this a few years back, where he was saying that like football's not a thinking sport. Like it's just not. It's a reactionary sport. Like when you're like obviously pre-snap, you're thinking your assignments, you're making sure that you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, but in the snap, in between those 5 seconds, 8 seconds between those plays, like you're not really thinking. Everything is just reactionary because everything's based on muscle memory, based upon you're just trusting your teammates and you're trusting yourself that you prepared yourself for that particular moment. And football is not just a play at just one big moment. It's literally moment after moment after moment, play after play after play that you gotta kind of have to make sure that you're in the right mindset. And if you're always thinking, it's going to be challenging to kind of manage.
Let me ask you a question though. Would you agree that these tackles that they're trying to ban out happen when the runner's being caught from behind?
Oh yeah. Mainly, yeah. I
Okay,
mean,
so why wouldn't they just make a rule where the player has to
no,
tackle from in front of the person?
no, that Zachary, you're no, you can't do that. I mean, what do you want? I mean, they're what do you want people to do when Justin Jefferson breaks a slant? You just want them just to, oh, let me get in front of you, Justin Jefferson. Let me, like,
Wouldn't that eliminate this move though?
yeah, but like, what if you take a wrong angle and the guy's running out of sideline? You can't push him. Like, no, that's
Then they
gonna no,
score.
no.
Then they
You can't
score, and then the
you cannot
NFL
do
gets what they
that's a
want: more points.
no. You cannot do that.
All right, we'll see
Yeah,
what
I
teams
don't
try
see.
to do to
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I
not
could
have this
think,
rule happen.
I think gang tackling is gonna be the number one thing. Like that's gonna be the number one thing.
But I don't see how you're gang tackling someone if they run a slant. How are you gang tackling?
Well, this is
Jamar
mainly
Chase runs a slant.
happening. I mean, it's not really happening to receivers. This injuries are happening mainly like
Mark
guys.
Andrews.
Yeah,
Mark
guys like
Andrews
Mark
runs a
Andrews.
Mark Andrews. He runs a slant.
I mean, like, so it would be like this. Mark Andrews gets a post up
I'm
the
telling
seam,
a slant.
and
Okay,
he's
change
like
the
only
route. That's
has
fine too.
no, because no,
On
has
the
like
play that he got hurt. On the play he got hurt. It wasn't. It was just the. Was it in like a
I
short?
think it
It
was
was a
like
short
I
pass.
think it was like a shuttle screen or something like that, but it
No,
was
man, it
like
was like a
something
short.
like
They were in the red zone, and I thought he was gonna. Yeah, and I thought and they were in the red zone, and he thought he was gonna score. I thought he was gonna score. I'm texting my opponent. Yeah, and he got caught from behind. They should have let him score.
yeah. I sorry, and my okay. All right, my Safari had too many windows open. I was had like a bandwidth issues. Okay, are we good? Can you hear me, Zachary?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, I can hear
cool.
you.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Okay, perfect. Okay.
What's next?
The kickoff rule is so NFL is pretty much adopting the XFL kickoff rule. If you don't know what that is, they're kicking off from the 35 still. Players can't leave until they get to the 50-yard line. Until the kicker gets to the 50-yard line, which then they can go past. I'm sorry, the kicker will kick off from the 35-yard line, and then the receiving team. I'm sorry, the the defenders on the kickoff team will be at the 50-yard line, and they can't leave until they cross the 50-yard line. Until the kicker crosses the 50-yard line, right? So
They
pretty
can't
much.
leave until the guy catches the ball.
Oh, is it the catch of the ball?
They have
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
When the
okay,
guy
okay.
catches the ball, they
Thank
can
you.
go. The kicker can
Okay,
go
sorry.
right away after he kicks it.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, I literally don't have the rules in front of my face because I had to block it out.
Yeah,
But
and
go
there are a
ahead.
bunch of there's a bunch going on with that rule. Um, it's
I
going to
mean,
take a lot. Well, like there's a touchback rule too, right?
yeah, but like it's like okay, can you go over that? Sorry.
Well, I don't have that part in front of me.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
so I know there's a safety rule too. There's also a safety rule where like you can still get a safety if like the ball goes out of bounds. I mean, goes into the end zone and you don't recover it. So it's very weird. I think we got to watch the XFL. All viewers watch the XFL. Just watch one game just to see how they do it. But apparently, so okay. So there's a guy, the Saints. He's a Saints special team coach, and he was on the Pat McAfee show. He's been on it all week, every single day for the most part. And I've been watching him. So he was explaining that this rule is going to increase the amount of kickoff returns we see by 25%. So he's saying that because right now they had a graph of, or he did that have a graph. He was just saying that right now only 21% of kickoffs are being returned. So
I just
with
see
this
that.
new rule, over 50% of kickoffs will be returned. They're projecting that. Obviously, things could change. Guys could get around the rule and whatnot. But they're saying one of the things that he was saying was that guys are going to try. This is going to bring the creativity out of the special team coordinators. Because people, like guys like Kyle Shanahan, for example, they don't really take special teams seriously. I mean, we've seen that in the Super Bowl. Like special teams not really a priority for them. Like it isn't for a lot of coaches. But now I think you're gonna have to kind of put this into your main game plan when you are prepping for a game. Like it's not just offense and defense anymore. So I think, and I was listening to John Middlecoff earlier today. He was saying that, can you imagine being down by like a touchdown and you let the team score a field goal or team scores a field goal and it's like 23-24 with like 5 seconds left? Can you imagine a kickoff where have a guy like Tyreek Hill, being able to kind of bring that out and kind of get loose? Because essentially, if you start, it's like physics, basic physics. If you start further away, if you start closer to
What you're blocking.
yeah, exactly. Your acceleration is not going to get to where it is at when you're at full speed coming from the 35-yard line. So you're losing 15 yards essentially of just build up speed you're trying to build up. So the kickoff return team has the advantage in my eyes. I didn't watch the XFL, and maybe I do need to watch the XFL just to see how many returns they do. But the talent level of the XFL and NFL is different.
I found the exact rules here. Okay,
perfect. Thank you.
So what we're looking at is here, the standard kick will begin still at the 35-yard line, right? So the kicker's going to be at the 35-yard line, kicking that ball off, okay? The other 10 players are going to line up on the opposing 40-yard line. 5 players on each side of the field.
40, okay.
Right? Now, the return team is going to have at least 9 blockers lined up in what the NFL is calling a setup zone. And they're going to line up between the 30 and the 35-yard line. And at least 7 of those players have to be touching the 35-yard line.
Oh, so it's a 35-yard line then.
35 and then 30.
Okay.
Then you're going to have 2 returners that can be allowed inside the 20-yard line. Right? Okay. So with that, only the kicker and the 2 returners would be allowed to move until the ball hits the ground or is touched by the returner inside the 20-yard line.
So you could let's stop there for a second. So I could do I can do like a squib kick, and essentially the kickoff team, like someone touches it or something like that, and they're fumbling the ball around. They can't pick up the ball. Essentially, I can go as soon as that guy as soon as they get first contact with the ball, right?
Well, even if they don't have kicker has to kick the ball. The kicker is going to be really important because they have to kick the ball in between the end zone and that 20-yard line.
Well, okay, so what if they kick it out of bounds? Is it a penalty?
Yeah, so if they kick it out of bounds, like on the sideline, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the same for both actually. So if they kick it in the end zone, it doesn't reach the landing zone, then the return team gets the ball at the 40-yard line.
I got it. Okay. I like that.
You can still call under the current rules. They can call fair catches. I think they eliminated the fair catch. I think I heard that too on kickoffs.
Yeah. I heard that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the things that the guy said on. Yeah, so guys, we're average friends. I mean, not average friends. I think we're pretty big fans of the NFL.
And then if someone kicks, there's one more. This is why I said it's confusing. So if it goes out of the end zone or it's a touchback, the person gets the ball at the 40. Wait, I said that wrong. Sorry, I said that totally wrong. Rewind, guys. If the ball gets kicked out of bounds, like on the end zone, like you see now, it happens all the time, or it doesn't reach the landing zone, that 0 to 20, the team gets the ball at the 40-yard line. That's where they start the field position. If the ball gets kicked out of bounds, that's the weird one because then the ball can go to the 30-yard line because it's going to be technically a touchback. They're calling it.
Oh, so okay, so it's like the out of bounds is narrower, I guess. Like before, you had the full field to kick the field, like to kick make sure. But like if you kick the ball out of bounds past that point, past the field, it's just at the 35-yard line of your your own 35 or yeah your own 35-yard line. That's where it's placed at.
Yeah, so now it's going to be at the
Now
30.
it's placed at the 30. So I like that. I don't mind that actually, honestly. I think
This is going to take a lot of getting used to.
This is gonna
I think
take
I'm going to watch preseason to
I'm
get
watching the
myself
XFL.
familiar
I'm
with
watching
it.
the XFL just so I can just so
Yeah.
I can see. And then NFL, I think I think special teams is a very important position to play. And so
But they're going to make it so they're trying to make it so the return game,
it's
like
fun.
right now,
Yeah.
if you got to go to the bathroom, you can go during the return game.
Yeah.
They're trying to say, no, stay in your seat until the commercial break. That's
Exactly.
what they're trying to do.
Yeah. And that's the NFL's breadwinner. You stay in your seat. You keep on watching the game. That's where the NFL makes its money. All right, let's go.
I saw right away. Cordarrelle Patterson, by the way, got signed. I said, dude, I'm tired of him. Yeah, I said it.
He is probably one of the. He's probably. I
hate him.
He will
on the
for
football
sure.
field. He's a great person. I've seen some stuff on Philly. A great person.
He for sure is going to be
football wise. He just takes fantasy points from my guys.
He's for sure going to be at like Arthur Smith. If Arthur Smith becomes like a GM, he's for sure going to be in his front office. Like,
man, please don't. I was bad.
Do you have Najee Harris or something? Is that why or
that what?
Do you have Najee Harris? Anyone? Like you have Najee Harris in any league?
Well, last year I had John in one of my leagues.
No, I'm talking about Najee Harris. He signed with the Steelers.
No, I'm talking last year.
Oh yeah. Well, I know. I know Cordarrelle Patterson is a. I mean, he was out, and then he just as soon as he came in, it was like he never left. So yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to the Christmas because this thing is going to be good to talk about because I got a couple different opinions about this. Well,
you're an NBA fan, right?
Well,
so how do you feel about this? Christmas is owned by the NBA.
I haven't really cared for the NBA Christmas since the KD Warriors and the Cavalier games. Those games are fun. Like those games were legit fun to watch every single year. I mean, for the most part, Warriors won them all. I mean, I know the Cavs won a couple of them. I remember one because I remember Kyrie had that game winner over Klay Thompson. When that mid range, that fadeaway he did. But for the most part, I think the NFL is you put the NFL on and the NBA at the same time, NFL is going to be the cash cow, no matter what. I think even the NBA knows that. But so the NFL is going to be playing 2 games on Christmas. They're also going to be having a game on Thursday. They'll have a game that Saturday as well, and they're also going to have a game on the Sunday. So in between that, though, we have college football happening on that Friday.
Oh, that's right.
And then happening on Monday and Tuesday. So we're gonna have almost 7 days in a row, a week straight of just football, which is gonna be fun. Honestly, I think we need more of that in this country. We need more football in this country. I think football is a sport that unites people. I mean, it just does. Obviously, we had this issue a couple years ago with Colin Kaepernick.
I think it's the last thing that we have, which isn't impacted by the outside world.
Yeah, exactly. And
I hope they keep that. The college football is veering away with NIL, but hopefully they can put some restraints on it to keep the. I don't want to say
American culture. I know what you're talking about. Just like what we're used to.
I know what I'm saying. Yeah, like there was a respect factor of the game. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not just about money. Like you played the game. You watched we would watch college basketball when it was on CBS, when it was on Fox.
The team matters.
I think we appreciated it.
I think
because
the team matters.
But I think
because now the teams don't matter. If I'm a player,
yeah,
coach yelled at me, I'm going to transfer right away. Transfer portal.
But I think
you don't play me. I'm not going to compete. Transfer portal. And that's how the NBA is lost its way. It's no longer about the Lakers on TV. It's about where's LeBron at? Where's KD at? KD's been on 10 teams. And it's like, dude, just stay somewhere because you're not winning.
But
it worked for LeBron, but it doesn't work for you.
I think the league pass affected that because growing up, you were just a fan of who you saw on TV. I mean, it was very rare.
Well, yeah.
Like I was a Laker fan, but like I was a Laker fan growing up. You were a Laker fan growing up, but it was only because our uncle was a big Laker fan, and like he put us up on the Lakers. Like I mean, that was like the only reason. I mean, at least for me, that's the only reason why I became a Laker
Well, for
fan.
me, I watched the Warriors were on Channel 36 growing up,
Well, I know that. Well, that's what I'm
and
saying. But like even then, like
then like the what I'm saying, you watched the Warriors on
yeah, we watched the
whatever
Warriors
the local
on
channel was, and
forget the
then
yeah
but the Lakers came on TV, and also growing up, the Warriors were really bad.
yeah. And we know you're a
So
bandwagoner, so like you're not gonna root for a team that's
I think that's where
winning
it
20
started, right?
games, you know. So no, but like even then,
Yeah.
like you watched you rooted for the team that you could watch. Like it wasn't accessible as it is now. Like with streaming available, you can watch these games on your phone. Like you don't have to just live in the area to watch your team, which is a blessing and a
I
curse.
think
But
what I'm saying, Joseph, is it goes a little deeper than that. Like those teams used to matter. Like just the fact that you're a Golden State Warrior fan, or like I can still list off like Bobby Sura, Mookie Blaylock, Donald Foyle, Eric Dampier. Like I can list off all these guys that played for the Warriors during like the
Troy
time that I
Murphy,
grew up watching them.
don't forget
And
about
it came
Troy
a little later,
Murphy,
like right from it came a
Andrew
little later. Troy
Badrians,
Murphy,
Andres
um,
Badrians.
yeah, and like that's what I'm saying. Like you used to enjoy even though the team wasn't necessarily the best, you
Yeah.
still cheered and like you were a Warriors fan. You were proud to be a Warriors fan, even though they sucked. Type deal.
Yeah.
Now it's what no one's a team. No one's a. I live out here. You don't hear a lot of Hawks fans, but Trae Young fans, and it's
Yeah,
that's
wherever
what I'm
Trae Young
saying.
goes,
When
I'm gonna
Trae
be his
Young,
fan.
yeah, they're talking about him going to the Spurs. People are going to root for Trae Young because he plays for the Spurs. Now they're Spurs fans, and it's just
I would love to see Trae Young and Wemby together, but I don't think I'll ever not root for the Lakers.
and
I
that's
don't think
fair.
that
Like
will ever happen.
you're like one of the last of a dying breed type. Like I mean, even I, people are going to probably get mad about this, my perhaps a controversy, but I'm a Raider fan still. I know root for the Chiefs. So it's makes me feel good about life being a Chiefs fan, but
Makes
definitely
you
paying
feel.
attention to what the Raiders do in the draft stuff.
All right,
Yeah, I
let's
know,
get
right? How
back.
can you like both teams?
Let's get back to the NFL though, because I think this is big for us to talk about still.
All right, Christmas.
So I think with streaming, like, do you think like how big? Where do you think where do you think the NFL's trying to go? Like, why are they doing this? Why are they making it 2 Christmas games? Why are they doing it
Global.
on a Wednesday? What is their vision for this?
Well, I think right now the NFL, if you're talking like fighters, they're in probably like the 11th round, right? 11th, 12th round with other sports leagues. And it's like battle royale if you watch WWF or E growing up. Um, and they're just beating everybody up. NHL, the NBA, the MLB, like they're dominating. And the last thing they really have to do is take Christmas over, right? Like I think that's it. That's the only thing. They have the fall, they have the winter. We know that, right? Heck, they're owning. You see what they're doing right
I
now.
mean, they have the
People are paying
spring.
more attention to
Yeah.
NFL free agency than the Lakers and Warriors fighting for a playoff berth. Like that's crazy as heck. We care more about free agency than that. So they're taking over
Yeah.
even the
Crazy to think
NBA.
about.
Like so, yeah, the draft's gonna come in April. Then people are gonna talk about the training camp and stuff. The only thing the NBA is gonna have is literally just June. And I think that's the June and Christmas right now is what the NBA has. I'll give them that. But if you're the NFL, you can take over Christmas too, and you can really just block off the full calendar and say
Yeah,
we
and go the whole
own
way.
another month. And I'll take you one step further, Joseph, because I'm thinking big picture here. Wouldn't you love to see the NFL try NFL Europe again? I want to see it. I want to see it. I'll be interested because then you can have a league going on during the time the NFL maybe isn't, perhaps. And now we're watching football in April, May, June to
Wow.
ramp us up
Maybe
for the regular season.
maybe take the XFL and because the XFL collabed with the USFL, so maybe taking that league
Yeah,
and taking it to Europe. Hey, you may be onto
doing something
something.
like that, right?
I
Where it's like
I can see that.
now we have a full calendar year
Oh,
of
just
us just
football,
taking money,
and that's what people want.
from people because we want more football. These
I
other
mean,
sport leagues,
on that same note,
they're just not
we
doing it.
saw them adopt the XFL rule for the kickoff. So they could
Crazy,
be
right?
getting their viewers to kind of get used to, hey, they could be
Go watch
our
that and see what it's about.
semi-pro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like because I mean, like you don't see like remember like the USFL failed at first, right? With
Yeah.
Vince McMahon when he tried to do it, he kind of went bankrupt. Um,
XFL?
no, wasn't it the USFL? It was the
He did
USFL.
the XFL. All right, we'll
Oh
keep
no,
going.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah. It was XFL, and then the USFL came from the XFL, and then The Rock rebranded the XFL, brought it back, and then they collabed together with the USFL. So I can definitely see them doing what you're talking about, like going into that league and say, hey, you guys, we'll buy you guys out, and take you to XFL, give you 80% ownership of this. Just go to Europe with these guys, and then that way you can have a global presence and people can. I mean, I would love to go to Europe and watch football, and American and international football. Like like you got best of both worlds.
Because you got to think it messes up the regular season just a little bit, not a lot, but you got to think like the Jags were out there 2 weeks in a row and they won both games.
Yeah, I didn't like
Um,
that personally. I didn't like that,
right?
and because I mean, just as a
You have a competitive
fan,
advantage,
I mean, they had the Bills. They
and
played
you
the
lose home
Bills.
games,
Yeah, and you lose
and you
home
lose
games.
home
Yeah.
games. Yeah,
Yeah. So I could definitely see the NFL doing that. But in terms of like the Christmas, my view is like this. Like I think that the NFL does a really good job at like getting all their orange juice out of the orange. Like they squeeze the heck out of everything that they can,
Mm,
and they don't overdo it.
yeah.
Like they just don't. Like with the draft, they don't overdo it. They keep it simple. They may make some moderations every now and then with like different cities, allowing you to kind of, come in, watch it on TV and whatnot. Like those type of things are needed, but they don't like they're not making it so like it's not valuable. Like it's still must watch TV, for the majority of football fans. And I think with the Christmas, like you're saying, like they're making it so like it's their day. Like they are tired of the NBA. They want to make it so, hey, we are the sport to beat, and you guys are not beating us. So don't even try. Like we want the NBA to
Can
not
do you
be on
think? Let me
Christmas.
ask you this: do you think it's possible that the NBA could take back the day?
Oh, I definitely do. You know what you do?
What do you
You
do?
know what you do? You play the guys that are going to lead the league, like in the future, and you put them up against each other.
It's like
Like you
put
can't
Wemby versus Zion or something.
Wimby versus Zion. Like you have two guys who you guys can make
Anthony
rivals out of
Edwards.
in the same division. Anthony and Riziette and Luka Doncic. They're in the same division, same conference. They could literally be rivals, and no one really talks about them. Butting heads. Like if I'm the NBA, if I'm Adam Silver, you need that rivalry. That's how that's what the NBA did. With David Stern back in the '80s with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. You think Magic Johnson really wanted to? I mean, you think David Stern really wanted to, make a race right a race rivalry? But it grew the sport. It made the sport more popular. It made people more interested in the sport. Where it was more, it was almost as it was a racial war, for the most part in terms of like, oh, Magic is for the black people, Larry Bird's for the white people. Like that's how I think. To me, that's how the sport NBA grew. It's because they had those two rivalries, and it was obviously they couldn't be bad. They were really good, but it was mainly brought about from just pure race. And I'm not saying to make a race right again. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm
You guys
saying,
heard him. He wants Anthony
but,
Edwards versus Luca.
but what I'm
You're about to
saying
get
is
Gilbert Arenas, man.
is
They're about to cancel you.
yeah, no, they're not. Yeah. But what I'm saying is though, you need to make some type of rivalry set up so people can kind of have someone to root for. Because right now, like you're saying, to your point, like there's really no one to root for in the NBA other than players, right? And if you form your sport like that, it makes it so it's not must watch TV no matter who's
Well,
no
I'll
matter
give you
who's there.
this. If the star can live up to it, I think then you can it's fine because like Jordan, right? Jordan
He
was the
looks yeah.
star and
Yeah, he
he
looked
could
up to
win.
him.
So then
Yeah.
he carries the NBA. Um, after that, Shaq and Kobe, like they could live up to it. So you carry the
LeBron
NBA.
James.
And then honestly, I think LeBron couldn't. I'll be 100% with you, man. Like if he would have beat the Spurs in his first one, then I can give you that. But he lost,
So
and
you're saying
Duncan,
what
he
LeBron
couldn't
did
carry the
in
league.
general kind of ruined him his because I do see what you're saying. Like
I don't think he's not on the carry. He's not as far. I'm not saying he's not a better player than these guys. I'm just saying he didn't carry the league. He needed LeBron. How do you say this? Dak and Kobe, they played the New Jersey Nets in the NBA Finals. Still was good for ratings. They played the Iverson, and that was it. Nobody else is on the team. Good for ratings, right?
yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter who they're playing. Nobody was watching after he lost to the Spurs the second time. Like I feel like him versus that Mavs team, everybody had their eyeballs. He could carry it. You're like, okay, cool, this is it.
Yeah.
But then they lost. And it's like, dang, he can't carry it. He came back next year. They beat Kevin Durant, and it's like, okay, maybe he can. He beat the Spurs, went back to back. Okay, now we're getting there. And then he lost, and it was like, oh, he can't carry it.
So do you
It's
think
over. He's 2-3 in the finals type deal. Steph Curry is the guy who
yeah, that's what I was gonna
put the
say.
NBA. Yeah, I think that helped. Like he needed Steph to be there and carry that load with him because I don't think he could have done it by himself. But I'll flip it. Do I think Curry could have done it by himself? I would argue yes, because we saw in the Celtics, the NBA was in a great place when they beat the Celtics.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, whereas you say LeBron in the bubble without because who they play? I don't remember who they played.
The Heat
The
in
Heat,
the finals, yeah.
right? In the bubble? Like that was trash. You see what I'm saying? It's like because LeBron, he's he's a star. He's cool. But he's just not stacking Kobe. He's not Jordan.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not a diss to say you're not these guys. That's not
like
that's not. And like right now, they don't. The NBA needs that. If Tatum starts winning championships,
it's not gonna be Tatum. It's not gonna be Tatum.
Anthony Edwards.
It's gonna be Anthony Edwards.
Jokic doesn't. Jokic could. Jokic don't want it.
Anthony Edwards is very charismatic, and I think that's what you need. I think I agree with what you were saying because like LeBron really wasn't known for anything except for I mean before when he was in Cleveland, he was known for just those cockback dunks, those great playoff moments. He had like kind of like a blueprint where like, okay, we could see LeBron taking over the league. But as soon as he went to the Heat, things kind of changed.
I think his biggest play was the chase down block.
Wait. Are you talking about his career wise, or are you talking about just
like Kobe, like Michael Jordan has that signature dunk, the fadeaway, right? Kobe has all the post moves, right?
The fadeaway. Dunk,
right?
He dunked over so many people. Kobe did.
Yeah, he has his dunking package.
I mean,
right?
The crazy shot over people, like those are. I see. Yeah,
I feel like LeBron's gonna be. I feel like that chase down block. His
statue
Kobe, has to be a chase down block.
Like you're shooting,
like game winners.
Like you're shooting, game winners are in the trash can. You're just saying Kobe, like Curry, for example. You pull up from half court. Everybody says Curry
anywhere.
Like so I can definitely see what you're talking about there. Like LeBron. I don't know. What are you really known for, LeBron? Like chase down blocks,
He's gonna his thing's gonna have to be a chase down block. His statue,
but it's crazy because
he's blocking Iguodala in the finals.
He scored the most amount of points in
history, longevity.
Crazy. No, I know that, but it's just crazy to think about because, I mean, look at where we are at right now in 2024, where we have a 40-year-old. Like, I mean, he's 39. Then we have, the next great player next to him, Steph Curry, who
I'll tell you this: the NBA though isn't the same NBA that
we grew up watching. It's just not.
Fell
they
in
are
love
trying
with
to make it
or whatever.
Yeah,
they're trying, but I mean, at this point, I'm convinced if Dwight Howard, if he's in shape, give him a deal. He can average 20 and 10 today. There ain't no defense. He can just dunk on everybody.
Yeah, I think
like
that's why I think Zach Edey,
Shaquille O'Neal. I feel like Shaquille O'Neal
could
come out of retirement right now.
I think that's why Zach Edey could do something in the league. Like I see a lot of people.
The only problem with Edey is the fact that
he's not gonna get fouled. He's not gonna get those.
He's slow.
Yeah,
he was faster. I can give him something, but he's just slow-footed. So it's just by the time teams do this, he's gonna get lapped.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have a team that can stop and give it to them in the post and run plays up, and nobody plays like that anymore. You need
Yeah.
like a rim runner type deal. So it's like it sucks for the kid,
All right.
but he's
Yeah.
a cool player on defense. Block shots, 7 whatever he is.
Yeah. I was trying to pull up the picture for the NFL little thing that they do every year, but it's just whatever.
What do they do?
No, you know how they do like there's like I don't think the Patriots are gonna win a lot of games. This guy Jared Mayo looks like he literally just has a T-shirt on at the how coaches meet up every year and they do it at the competition committee. I
I'm not
legit
judging anymore, man.
think the Patriots are gonna win
After
like
D'Amico
maybe 2 games.
Ryan's take, that was my worst take of 2023.
Well, D'Amico Ryan, at least he
Out.
looks like a coach. Looks like a guy who could build culture.
Oh, definitely.
I don't think this guy Jared Mayo. I think he was just hired. Just I got zero clue what's going on with the Patriots. All right, well that's all we got for today, guys.
He was. You know what, Jared? You know what Mayo was?
Yeah,
It's going to come out in like 10 years that Mayo was leaking information from Belichick to Kraft.
he was a butt buddy for Kraft. Apparently, Kraft wanted this documentary out. By the way, so
yeah. Apparently, I haven't even noticed, but apparently there's some there's like a badge that says like Kraft Entertainment or Kraft Family or something like that.
Yeah,
on the bottom.
Yeah.
You hear about that too?
I read about it. That's why I brought it up.
Okay, we probably said the same thing.
Yeah, so I read an article about that this morning, or maybe it was like yesterday or this morning, and they're talking about how Kraft was pretty much the point person for this documentary. Like he had a vision about just wanting to display the dynasty period through Belichick like a lot more clear than what people.
It's just Hall of Fame video.
Yeah, Hall of Fame. There.
Look what I did.
Yeah,
I did this because of this.
Listen,
I'm the reason.
I think Kraft at the end of the day, I think he just cares.
He's cool, dude.
No, I'm not saying no. I like Kraft.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's gonna be
do whatever, Kraft.
He's gonna be in the league. Like he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. He turned a non-winning franchise into
6 Super Bowls.
6 Super Bowls. Like I just think there's
heck yeah, he's in there.
All right, well that's all we got.
He's the best owner in the NFL.
He is. Yes.
Yeah, based off of Super Bowl success.
Yeah,
Super Bowl I don't know about other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we can go back and forth on that. All right, guys, we're done for the day. Feel free to, like I said, like, subscribe, as well as comment. We are going to probably have another podcast later this week where we knock down another division in terms of what they should do for the draft. Draft's coming up in less than 30 days, so hopefully we want to knock these out as soon as possible. But thanks for tuning in and see you next time.